Hi, I'm Silvia. I'm a teacher and I use Notion to organize my personal life, but I've been finding more and more ways to use Notion to organize my teacher life also. At our school, we do use a learning management system. We use open source one called Moodle, but I like working in Notion, and so it's enhanced my workflow to use it also as a teacher. One thing I wanted to do was plan my courses, but also keep track of the progress students are making in my course, how they're doing with handing in assignments, and so on. I do not use Notion to actually hand out grades for these assignments. That's what's done in the learning management system. But I created a class management dashboard that allows you to plan your courses and have an overview of how students are progressing with the assignments that you set out to do. So we'll hop into Notion in the class management dashboard. You'll be able to copy this collection of pages as a template and adapt it to your own needs, obviously. So in the class management dashboard, we have a few different databases that all link to each other, which is this very nice feature of Notion, obviously. And so I'll start here when I'm planning my course and lay out all the dates in the course. The course might span a few weeks or 70 weeks or a whole school year, depending on your situation. And so you can make a new lesson by selecting a date. We'll be doing this on the 4th of January. That is a Monday, which has been being calculated by this formula here, which is a handy feature. I can give a title to this class. I can also state a main objective, a main focus for this class. I can say if I'm prepping it, if I'm done prepping it, or when the class has passed, if I still need to grade this one. I can fill in if this course is being taught online or in person, and how many hours it is, so I can keep track of the total hours I need to fulfill in this course, and also the week number if you use it. It's something very common I use to keep track of which classes are being taught in which week. Then we have these two relationships. The first one I'm going to talk about is the curriculum that links to another database in Notion with all the curriculum items. You might be prescribed a curriculum by your school or your administration or your government, and so you can put it in here. Every curriculum item also obviously has its own page that you can use for notes. And here you get a quick overview of how many times you have addressed a certain curriculum item, and if you still need to cover some of them. By just filling in this relation, you can just browse through the rows in your curriculum database. It's important to have good titles that you can use. Maybe use a numbering system that makes sense for you, and you can just add curriculum items here. Then we have the link with, or the relationship with, the assignment database. So I can use this one to add an existing assignment or create a new assignment for this lesson. I do it like this. And so the important thing is that I immediately click on this page and add this as a new assignment, and also apply the filter to it. The filter is important later on when I'll explain how all the calculations work in these databases. So there is the template that has been applied. And so the template is very simple, or seemingly simple. It's two versions of the same database, but two linked views with a different filter. So the filter is when a student has done it or not. So when the student database does not contain this assignment in its relation, then the student will show up here, but I can use this to drag and drop to the other column, so this assignment will be checked as done for this student. So this is when I'm planning my courses. I use the course planner. I can use the assignment dashboard to get a quick overview of all the assignments, sorted by the most close date, the one that it's nearest to us. So the older ones are at the bottom. I can also see to which class or lesson they link or are related. And so I can use these pages just to go through the grading of one assignment for every student. Now, in the student dashboard, I get a view the other way around. I'm not going through one assignment and seeing what has every student done, but here I'm going through the one thing, the one page for this student, obviously. And so for each student, I can keep track of a few things that interest me. So their learning needs that I need to be aware of, their IT skills, their access to a computer, and so on, if there's any problems or things that need addressing or attention. And I can just use this space as a place to jot down notes about conversations I had with the students. I also use this interaction database, and this is a linked view again to the interaction database, to fill in my calendar with meetings, Zoom calls, talks after class, emails that I have to do with this student. And you'll see all these interactions show up on the main page of this template in this calendar, obviously. When I go back to the student dashboard, you can also see, I don't use this page exactly to keep track of what has been said during this conversation, because then it gets buried in there. So I prefer to use this space here to jot down notes about every interaction, so I can get a quick overview of everything that I need to know when I go to talk to the student next time. Then we have a similar system to the assignment database template. So we have a column to do and a column done. And here again, I can drag and drop every assignment from one to the other to state if it's done or not. And you'll see how the percentage changes. So now the student has not handed in any assignments, so their progress should be at 0. It takes a moment to refresh, so this is 0. When, for example, they hand in 3 of the, we have only 5 assignments, so 3 of the 5 assignments, you'll see, for example, the 40% showing up. 60%. It does take a little bit because there's a lot of formulas in the background working. But it does give you the possibility to have this page where you can sort your students by progress in your course in an easy way, and also target messages to them. Hopefully when the Notion API comes out, I'll find a way to automatically send them a message, for example, when they're dropping below 50%, for example, and just send them over a list of the assignments they still need to fulfill. So that is how it works on the front of it. Some of you might be interested to know how I did this, how it works. You've seen a lot of relations, a lot of roll-up fields are also going on, but the main challenge in creating this was that I wanted a way to keep track of how many assignments there are in total. And you can do that. You can have a calculation field here, for example, and you see you have 5 assignments. That's fine, but I cannot use that value in another field or even in another database. So I made a separate database that is just for calculations, and I called it the number of assignments, and it contains only one row. It's the assignment counter. Its only function is creating a value that I can use as a total number of assignments and use that in our other parts of this system. So you see that every assignment is linked to the assignment counter. That is very important, and that's why it's important to apply that template, because that template automatically fills in this relationship. Okay, but then when I go and count, I see that it's 6 and I only have 5 assignments. I do have this one called new assignment, and that refers to the new assignment template that I use. That's fine, because I can use this formula field to have the roll-up field of total assignments. It's a roll-up field from the assignment counter. And I can just subtract 1. This is the value I use in my student database. And I'll just hop on over to the student database to show you. And you'll see the total assignments is just a roll-up field from the assignment database. And so this is 5. This is the percentage of the assignments this student has done divided by the total assignments, this value here. How do I come up with this done assignment value? Well, by using these two linked versions of the assignment database, I can just have a filter that fills in the student for me, basically. So this column of the linked database just says where the column students does not contain this student, because we're in student 2, then show it here. This is just a reverse filter. Here it does contain it. So when I drag and drop it, it changes only that value and makes the calculation and increases the percentage. So I encourage you to give some honest feedback on this early prototype of my class management dashboard. I also want to share it with you, so I'll have the link in the description below. And feel free to adapt it to your own needs or reach out if you want to know something about it. Have fun!